They're sometimes referred to as forest giraffes. We're coming up on the hillside in front of us here. We got a couple of antelopes. First of all, the lighter colored ones standing up there, those are greater kudu. Greater kudu are the second largest antelopes in Africa, can weigh as much as 750 pounds, stand about 6 feet to the shoulder. Only the male kudu carry horns though, but my favorite antelope, bongos. They're so pretty, look at the color. Bongos are also known as the ghost of the forest because they're really good about hiding when they want to. Now both the male and female bongo carry horns and they lay back on their head, helps them get through the tangled underbrush really easily. The black and white bird there, that is a saddlebill stork. Saddlebill storks can reach heights of up to 5 foot tall, has a wingspan of over 6 foot, and it mates for life. In front of us up here on the hillside is a black rhino. Black rhinos are actually small rhinos. They only weigh up to like 3,000 pounds. And they have that triangular shaped upper lip they use like a finger. Pull up grass or pick leaves, put in their mouth with it. Unfortunately, there are only like 5,000 black rhinos left in the wild. They've been hunted nearly to extinction for their horn. So I know what a rhino's horn's made out of? Keratin, yes. Keratin. Same stuff your hair and fingernails made out of. Oh, look at the buckle. This is my favorite. Look how dark he is. She's so pretty. So pretty.
You're recording, right? Okay.
Alright, we're going to head on over to the Salty River now, which is always a good place to look for animals, you know, near a river. Another Swahili word for you there, safi. Safi means clean. Maji means water. This river is not safi maji though.
It's like Puerto Rico when you go into the lake.
Good. Kiboko. Anybody know what a kiboko is? Sometimes called a water horse. He's not going to come back up. Oh. There's one right there. Kiboko. Hippo. Now the hippopotamus can weigh as much as 5,000 pounds and hold his breath between 5 and 8 minutes. They do sleep on the bottom of the river. They'll rise up, take a breath, sink back to the bottom the whole time while they're asleep. Hippos don't swim either. They're just very buoyant. They can walk, running, glide on the bottom of the river. The large white birds on the island there, those are pink-backed pelicans. They get that name because during mating season, the feathers on their back will turn pink. And they nest in colonies, and both the male and the female pelican will build ants into its nest. You guys see the stuff floating in the water out there besides the leaves? You know what that is? Hippo poop. Or as we call it now, fish food. Seriously, circle of life stuff going on there. Hippos go out at night, eat grass and shrubs, come back, poop in the river, feed the fish, then you eat the fish. Just saying. Hippos, unfortunately, are the most dangerous wild animals in Africa, and they are the #1 killer of humans here in Africa as well. Oh, then on your left, Nile crocodiles. Nile crocodiles can live to be about 40 years old, average around 18 feet in length. You might see some hold their mouths open occasionally. That's how they regulate their body temperature by expelling heat out of their mouths. They do have a jaw-closing pressure around 2,000 pounds per square inch, which will crush the bones of its prey. But now crocodiles only eat on average about once a week, and they go several months without eating anything at all.
Crocodiles?
Coming up on the right here, you're going to see a baobab tree. Baobabs are also referred to as upside-down trees because, well, it does look like its roots are coming out of the top of it. It only gets leaves about 3 months out of a year, but during that time it stores up huge amounts of water into its trunk. And during the dry season, you'll see animals like elephants, rhinos, or others tearing at the bark of it to get at the water that's inside it. For the reason it's also called the tree of life. Now this are the animals that live here. Giraffe are the pruners. They keep the leaves trimmed up really nice and high for us. Of course, you know when the giraffe gets too high for an elephant just come along and pushes the tree over. And when the elephants are done, the antelope will move in and clean up the remainder. So in a balanced system, there's always plenty of food. That's the right of your left. Wild African dogs. Wild African dogs are also known as painted dogs because of the color of their coats. Now they're pack hunters like wolves. However, they don't run themselves to exhaustion chasing down prey. They just work as a team to keep the prey running in a circle amongst them until the prey falls over to exhaustion. Ha! Dinner time. That's the key.
Y lo bien que lo tienen en ese idioma, no se escapan, ¿verdad? O sea, se van a irse a comer los otros animales.
Now the large columns of earth coming in front of us here, these are termite mounds, hard as concrete. Elephants love to use a good termite mound as a scratching post, but termites are actually pretty good engineers. They build these columns so that when air blows by the mound, they get sucked inside and circulate throughout each the inside of the mound's cool. Termites are pretty good farmers too. Twice a year they come out of the mound, go about 20, 30 feet away from me, clean out every bead of living vegetation they could find.
Sí, porque si no, se los comen los conejos.
Maasai.
Well,
I thought
Sí, los
she was
conejos.
going to come out.
Cogen las
Oh, there she
vegetaciones que están a su alrededor y se los comen.
So that's a Maasai giraffe. You can tell it's a Maasai because it has that irregular shaped pattern on its coat, as opposed to like a reticulated or Rothschild giraffe, which has a blocky, square, rectangular pattern on its coat. There's nothing in there.
Sentadita le gusta.
How many people knew there were different types of giraffe? Oh, look at that. We learned something. Sweet. You know what you call a group of giraffe? A tower. A tower of giraffes.
Mira cómo están los cuernos ahí.
The tower does have babies, and we'll get to see some of those. Over to your right here, you'll see the gray animals out there on the savannah. Those are white-bearded wildebeest, part of the largest migration of animals left on Earth. Up to 1.5 million wildebeest migrate across the African veldt each year. They're also known as new. This just sounds mean. Yeah. That was awful. Forget I did that. The animals with the really big horns, these are Ankole cattle. Ankole cattle are also known as the Watusi cattle, after the Watusi people who were the first to domesticate them.
Mira lo que va.
Their horns get up to about 4 feet in length, and they're hollow, but they don't pump blood through them. Helps to disperse heat from their bodies. There's one of the babies here. We have 5 babies in this tower that's between 16 months and 26 months old. Don't ask me which is which anymore. But we have 2 new ones that are about a month and a half old. A couple of weeks between them.
Oh,
At least the good side, right? Now the antelopes over here on your left, those are Patterson Zealand. Patterson Zealand, oh, there's the babies. See them up there? The 2 newest ones. Patterson Zealand are the largest antelopes in Africa. A male eland can weigh as much as 2,000 pounds.
mira qué bello está. Bien cuidado.
So guys, don't ever let a giraffe lick you. Ugh, nasty, viscous, sticky fluid in their mouth. See these bushes on your right over here? Look really close at them. These are acacia. Giraffe love acacia, but look at the branches. They're covered in thorns. A giraffe can actually wrap its tongue around one of those thorny branches, and that viscous fluid in its mouth will help protect its tongue from getting prey. Remember, it's sticky, so all the leaves stick to the side of the tongue. So it just yanks the tongue back inside the head and strips the branch of all of its leaves. Also, though, they can actually pick individual leaves off the tree with it if they wanted to. And the average length of a giraffe's tongue is about 18 inches. A foot and a half, you can stick it out of its mouth.
18 pulgadas la de una jirafa. Imagínate. Y con eso se ponen los arbolitos.
Some greater flamingo coming up ahead of us here. Greater flamingo are the lightest pink color of flamingos. And they get their pink color from eating brine shrimp and other crustaceans that are full of keratin. And baby flamingos, when they're born, are gray and fuzzy, well, fuzzballs. They lose the fuzz after a few weeks, but they will not lose the gray color until they're around 2 years old. Does anybody know what you call a group of flamingo? A flamboyance. A flamboyance of flamingo. Some people call it a standard flamingo, but I like flamboyance better.
You see how they turn their heads?
So we're going to head into a little different ecosystem now. Animals find in this environment are still savanna animals. They just like to be a little more reclusive. Hey guys, if you look through the trees right over there, there's an elephant. Right back in there.
Oh, I see it.
¿Lo ves? El
Coming out in
animal.
front of us here, we got two antelopes. First one, the white one, that's a scimitar horned oryx, which gets its name because its horns are shaped like the scimitar sword from the Middle East. And it's white because it's a desert antelope, helps reflect the sun and keeps it cool. The darker colored antelope there, that is a bontebok. Bonteboks are extinct in the wild. You can only find them on reserves like this.
Fíjate,
But
están extintos.
150 years
Están
ago,
en reserva,
there were
ya
only
en la-
like
en
20
los salvajes
bonteboks
no
left on
quedan.
the planet. That's because a farmer put up a fence around his property in South Africa and inadvertently trapped them on the property. It's the only reason they were saved from being hunted completely to extinction. They are doing good on reserves around the world today. It's actually an effort by the Disney Conservation Fund to put a herd of bonteboks back out into the wild in the next year or so. Scimitar horned oryx have the ability to allow their body temperatures to rise to over 115 degrees before they begin to sweat, and have been known to go as long as
En los
9 months
salvajes para
without
que vuelvan a
drinking
hacer
any water.
copulación.
Up on the hillside there in front of us, a cheetah. Or in Swahili, duma. Cheetahs are the fastest land mammals. They can run at speeds of up to 70 miles an hour for short spurts.
Y
Cheetahs also have a very
sanamente
long, thick, heavy
atrapó una
tail.
cantidad y que gracias a Dios esa cantidad
They use that
ellos existen
like a rudder.
por el esfuerzo que él hizo tapando la propiedad y
Make
ellos
sharp
están dando la
turns, keep their
propiedad.
balance when they're chasing prey.
Realmente no pudieron entrar a la propiedad con los salvos sin la chepa.
Cheetahs are also the only one of the big cats that has the ability to purr.
Mira, el chito. Ya lo tienen que estar alto, ¿viste?
En
Sí, pero
México.
están detrás de la jaula. ¿Lo ves?
Sí, yo también.
Bien, bien. Y eso es eléctrico, te voy, te le ves.
Off to your left there, you're gonna see lions.
Oh, lions.
Now, lions do form prides, usually consisting of just one male, number of female, and their young. Females do most of the hunting for a lion pride. And lions do exactly what those are doing right there, you know, just kind of hang out, lay around, and sleep 20 plus hours a day. 100 years ago, there were over 200,000 lions roaming the savannas of Africa. Today, there are less than 20,000 of them left in the wild, mostly due to habitat destruction.
Ya lo que queda es 20,000 en la sabana, de tanto que están haciendo casas y cosas nuevas.
Coming up in front of us here, we got some water bugs. Now, water bugs have two cool features. One, their nose is shaped like a heart. And they have bullseyes on their booties. Water bugs are also not migratory. They spend their whole life near where they were born, usually close to a large body of water, which is why I got the name water bugs. And those are ostrich eggs on the ground right there. One ostrich egg is the equivalent of a couple of dozen chicken eggs. Weighs about 3 pounds. It's a really good omelet, though. Actually makes a number of really good omelets. And the shell of an ostrich is actually really thick and it's pressurized inside. You could stand on top of an ostrich egg and it wouldn't break. I didn't believe that until, there's a warthog coming down the hill way over there. Boomba.
Goomba. Yeah. Kita nak move.
Here it is.
I've been recording for 15 minutes.
Coming up ahead of us here, the warden has started himself a goat farm. He puts them out mostly during the day. Looks like he's taking them in for the night. Got a beehive fence set up there that'll keep the elephants from right. The elephants are afraid of bees. Now we are coming up to the warden's post up ahead, which is where I'll be dropping you off. From there, it's just a short hike back to the Harambe village. Now, when you get back to the village, talk to some of the vendors there if you have any interest in donating to the Wildlife Conservation Fund. Every dollar you contribute is matched dollar for dollar. Helps the wildlife and wild places around the world. I also suggest you visit the Gorilla Falls Exploration Trail. Now, as that name suggests, you might find some western lowland gorillas on the trail. You also might find meerkats. There's a bird sanctuary. But the whole reason for going on the trail, naked mole rats. It's just so cute, little tiny things. Guys, I hope everybody enjoyed their safari. Thank you for choosing Kilimanjaro Safaris as your safari guides. Once again, my name is Travis, and I don't like to say goodbye to my Rafiki, so I use a Swahili word, Kwaherini. It means go well. So, Kwaherini, everyone. Jumbo with me. On the right, watch your hands, arms, legs, feet. Doors are going to slide up.